Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The champagne glass slipped from my hand before I even realized I dropped it. It hit the marble floor, shattering into 1,000 tiny pieces that glittered under the chandelier. My husband, Daniel, didn't even flinch. He just stood there, holding the woman's hand. Her laugh, light, youthful, utterly careless, echoed in my ears. "Lena," he began, his voice trembling between guilt and relief, "I didn't want you to find out like this." Find out. The phrase burned through me. As if I were some stranger to be gently informed, not the woman who had shared his bed, his name, and 25 years of her life with him. The woman, no, the girl, couldn't have been older than 28. Her lipstick was smudged in that artfully deliberate way, her hair bouncing with every nervous giggle. I could smell her perfume, sweet and synthetic, a sharp contrast to the faint trace of Daniel's cologne that once felt like home to me. I took a breath that scraped against my chest like broken glass. "How long?" His eyes flicked away, that tiny gesture confirming what I already knew. This wasn't new. This was a rot that had been spreading quietly, beneath the veneer of our picture-perfect life. "About a year," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "It just happened." I laughed. A raw, bitter sound I barely recognized as my own. A year of sneaking, lying, and pretending, and it just happened. He reached for me, maybe out of habit, maybe out of guilt. I stepped back. The sound of the broken glass crunching under my heel filled the silence between us. I looked around the room, the house we'd built together. The framed photos on the mantel, the paint colors we'd fought over, the throw blanket I'd knitted last winter when he said he loved the smell of yarn and coffee in the mornings. Every corner screamed us. And now, every corner betrayed me. The night blurred into hours of tears I didn't remember shedding. I sat in the dark living room, clutching my phone, scrolling through photos, our anniversaries, vacations, lazy Sunday breakfasts. His smile in every picture now looked different. Practiced. Hollow. When I finally spoke again, it wasn't to him. It was to myself. What do you do when your entire life is built on a lie? He came downstairs, suitcase in hand. His face looked strangely calm, like he'd rehearsed this moment. "She's moving here," he said, avoiding my eyes. "I'll stay at her place until..." "Until what?" I interrupted. "Until you decide if she's worth burning down 25 years of marriage." He sighed. "Lena, we stopped being happy a long time ago." That sentence cut deeper than the cheating itself. Because part of me, the part that had been quietly suffocating, knew he wasn't entirely wrong. The laughter had faded years ago. The conversations had turned into reminders. We'd become roommates sharing history rather than a future. But still, I had stayed. I had fought. I had believed that love, once promised, meant something sacred. The next morning, I opened the closet and stared at the empty side where his suits used to hang. I expected to collapse, to scream. But instead, I felt light. The kind of lightness that follows a storm, when destruction clears space for something new. I made coffee, 1 cup, not 2. I sat by the window and watched the sun stretch over the neighborhood. For the first time in years, I didn't rush. I didn't wait for anyone. Then the doorbell rang. It was him. Of course it was him. He stood there with that same guilty softness that used to make me forgive too easily. He looked around, like he didn't belong here anymore. "I came to check on you," he said. "You didn't need to." I made a mistake." His voice cracked. "She's not what I thought. It's all different now." I stared at him, my heart beat steady this time. I wanted to scream that I'd warned him. That love built on lies never lasts. But instead, I smiled. A quiet, knowing smile that startled even me. "You chose her, Daniel. You chose youth, novelty, and escape. I chose endurance, loyalty, and love. We both made our choices. The difference is, I can live with mine." He swallowed, eyes wet. "Can't we?" "No," I said simply. "You broke something that doesn't glue back together. You taught me something, though." He blinked, confused. "That love isn't about holding on," I said softly. "It's about knowing when to let go. So I'm letting you go." For a moment, he stood frozen, like a man realizing he'd lost something he'd never find again. Then he turned and walked away. As the door closed behind him, I didn't cry. I didn't shatter. I just exhaled, long and deep. Outside, the sky was painted in hues of gold and violet, endings wrapped in beginnings. I raised my coffee mug, whispering to the quiet room, "After 25 years, I finally chose myself." And for the first time in decades, that choice felt like love.